Well, then you know what happened next, don't you? It was supposed to be, oh my God, these people. Last week, they did a big deal where Kyle Felcher, who they're building up to be, just the best thing ever. You know, if he was, instead of having that whiny little down under voice or whatever, if he had a Russian accent, he could be like the next Dolph Lundgren in the Rocky movie. But nevertheless, he sounds like Alvin the Chipmunk. But they did this deal where he beat up and hospitalized Kenny, and he's fucking had a big world title match where he went 45 minutes and all this stuff they're doing. And then all of a sudden last week, they had him literally challenge this 160-pound generic masked guy that Tony's come up with a gimmick for, Hologram, to a match for the TNT title on this week's TV. And somehow Hologram managed to, at the very next and only time that he got in the ring or was gonna get in the ring between that challenge and this week, he got hurt. So, since he got hurt, they changed it and they stuck pockets in there for the TNT title with poor old Kyle. Because, again, what are they doing there? Again, the guy looks great. The guy is an amazing athlete. The guy has a world of potential, as we mentioned. While he needs to get a little older and a little gruffer looking and somehow get some kind of cohesive gimmick instead of whatever their video game character they're dressing him up like most of the time. But he's learning bad habits and he's being made to look like just one of these fucking clowns when he's bigger and has more upside than that. And then they keep putting him in with these goofs. What are you going to learn of any positive consequence working with the company mascot, the 6-year-old one-note joke? And, the only good thing I've got to say about Pockets, Brian, I'll give you this. He looks like an average dipshit at the Shell station. But if you got in a fight with him over at the gas pump, he looks like he could pull a knife on you and do some damage. But he doesn't. No, if he had a knife and you didn't know it was coming, he could do something. I don't know. But at the same time, now that Hong Kong Phooey has arrived, even if he was coming at you with a knife, you'd have to laugh first, wouldn't you?
Depends if he does his kicks first. If he does like his little standing,
yeah.
It's almost like a dance more than kicks. If he did that first, I don't care how bad he is, I'd start laughing.
Because Pockets could be on meth. He looks like that could be a thing.
I don't think so. He seems pretty healthy.
You see a lot of healthy people walking around with no shirt and sunglasses and fucking blue jeans with their hands stuck in their pockets.
Did you hear Danielson trying to, again, this is 6 years in, trying to give the explanation for why Orange Cassidy's an effective wrestler? Because this is his strategy. Some people may not like that he does his hands in his pockets, but it's a strategy to psych out his opponents. Because, again, and this, I'm not saying this is a good explanation, but it would have been one thing if this was the explanation in year one. We're 6 years in, and he's trying to explain the psychology behind Orange Cassidy. Which, why would any wrestler fall for that if they've seen him for 6 years straight?
6 fucking years!
It's so stupid. It's one of these self-fulfilling things from AEW. They love Orange Cassidy. He will certainly be in the AEW Hall of Fame, first class. But he's one of the main issues with this company not connecting with people.
All right, well, here's how they're taking care of Kyle. Because after another fucking 15 minutes of this nonsense, of this match, Kyle's going to superplex him, but Pockets knocked him off the turnbuckle. And then Don jumps up on the apron and is like pulling his shoe off or whatever he's doing, like he's going to sneak down the apron and hit him with the shoe. And he's having to creep along because Hologram has to run out and Hologram's late, so Don is taking forever. The referee is looking for no reason otherwise, and he's just talking to fucking Pockets in the middle of the ring, or not Pocket D, but you know what I'm saying, Kyle. Referee's talking to Kyle. Don is creeping in slow motion. Pockets is up on the top rope waiting. Here comes Hologram finally. Hologram runs out. Nobody cares. Nobody makes a noise. He then turns around and crotches, Hologram does, Pockets on the top turnbuckle. And then Kyle jumps up and gives him a brainbuster on the top turnbuckle. Oh my God. And I don't know why he didn't bring out a goddamn bat just to make sure. Beat the brain into jelly. Yeah, that's the way you kill him. I don't, what the fuck? Brainbuster on the turnbuckle, 1, 2, 3. Kyle needed help to beat the company mascot. They never learn. And then they all start beating up Pockets, and several of the baby faces run out, but all of the Don Phallus family comes out. I counted 9 plus Don. And they reveal that Hologram is really a clone of Hologram, not the real Hologram. And then the lights started flashing and the music was sputtering. Posed there and did nothing. And we were an hour into the show. Am I exaggerating the description of that?
No, I don't think so. The idea that there's a clone, a hologram, is a whole nother booking issue with before. We've dealt with teleportation, and how ridiculous that was in year 1. But a clone, an evil clone of a Bizarro hologram being here. I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, you know, they've cloned the sheep.
Bizarro hologram, another member of the Callis stable, apparently.
Yo, yes. I forget now there's 10. The sheep. I mentioned the sheep earlier. They've cloned the sheep, but at least there's a use for sheep. And you can eat them, too. And then they had a 6-man tag.
What's nothing? Let's continue. Then there was a 6-man tag.
6-man tag.